Hey, hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this yoga session today. Today we will have a look on backbending. We will start with a couple of counter positions and preparations. We start with some folds and twists, and then we will head into backbends, easy backbends, good for beginners, very beginner friendly today, and a lot of spinal mobilization, spinal work. And then afterwards a little bit of counterposes, again, to leave the practice with a nice feeling. But at first, let's start in a seated comfortable position, a couple of deep exhales to get into the right mood, to release tension, to release stress, and then let's find our meditation pose. One moment of silence, please. Moment of gratitude. And then let's slowly start. Thanks for joining again. We start very, very easily with some preparation for the neck. We start with neck circles, very slowly. Right, your right shoulder extending backwards, rolling all the way over to the left shoulder, and then chin to chest. 1. The numbers are just for direction, you can do it in your own tempo, of course, no pressure. Very slowly, mindfully, actively. 2. In particular, if you have a sensible neck, be careful, be mindful. You can also do like one-dimensional movements. You don't have to circle. The movements that we do, that we usually do in our sessions as a warm-up, they might be a little bit gentler, a little bit easier for you. 3, let's change the direction, please. If you're asking yourself, what is this guy talking about? It's super easy. Then you can, of course, also go quicker. You do you. 2. 3. And change the direction again. 1. 2. And we change direction again. Last 2 rounds. 1. 2. All right, interlacing the fingers, palms facing up, shoulder lifting. If you can, try to do the shoulder elevations behind your ears even. But, it's a spectrum as always, of course. We pulse the arms behind the ears. Moving the arms backwards, relaxing. Moving the arms backwards, relaxing. Trying to keep my elbows straight. And then we move the arms forward, the hands forward, maximizing the distance between shoulder blades and palms, and going into one side and then into the other side. A little bit of side stretching, grabbing the opposite knee and leaning into it again, trying to keep the elbow straight, trying to touch my own head with the biceps. So I try to close the gap between arm and head. And the particular shoulder orientates itself with the particular knee, right here in this case, in my case. And now again, left shoulder towards left knee in a way. Then we continue. After this one, I think with easy twists, hooking at the quad with one hand and the other hand walks behind the buttocks, fingers support on the floor. Easy twisting. Try to stay extended. Try to stay upright. Keep your body active. Strong, straight seated position when we do twists, not falling backwards in a round back-ish flexed situation. We keep elevated, we keep lifted up. Hip next, we grab the foot and the knee and we draw circles into the air with the knee. 3, 4, 5, 6, and we change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's change direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. We open the legs a little bit more than mat distance. I always say in a way that the heels are just not on the mat anymore. The fingertips into the center and we slide back and forth a bit. Then we interlace the fingers. We lift the arms, palms facing upwards towards the sky. And we go into the center. Back up. To the right. Or the left. Back up. To the right. Or the left. And back up. And again into the center. Back up. In my case, to the left. I started with the left. Back up. One more time to the right. Back up. And one more time into the center. This time we place the palms on our soles. You can also grab the ankles, you just modify it to your needs. And then we extend and we walk the buttocks backwards. We shift the weight from side to side. Thinking about the cow position here. Implementing the cow into the forward fold, into the seated position. And then we continue with cat-cow movements. We are back into the center and we just try to switch between hollow back, round back, hollow back, round back. Now, if any of those exercises is too intense in your hamstrings, okay, try to experiment with a micro band in your knees. That's not necessarily easier or not less productive, not less effective necessarily. It's just slightly different and a little bit milder, I would say, in particular for the knee area and also for the hamstrings eventually. A little bit more accessible. I practice both. We continue with twists. As you can see, I try to grab the opposite of the particular foot. And then I'm opening towards the other leg. You can also have, instead of grabbing the outside of the foot, you can just, touch the outside of your ankle, the outside of your calf. We have to find our ways sometimes. We have to find our ways. Full 180-degree twist. We hold here for a moment. My hands orientate themselves with the edges of the mat. So left hand, left edge of the mat, right hand, right edge of the mat. Trying to keep the buttocks on the floor, thinking about left shoulder rotates out, right shoulder rotates in my case. Now other side. And in that case, right shoulder out, left shoulder in. So right shoulder in this case towards the ceiling, left shoulder towards the floor. Okay, if I remember correctly, we start with the backbend sequence now. Almost. Paschimottanasana, closed-legged pike position. At first, we lift the arms, we elevate them to the ceiling, we create length in the body. Active hold, you can try to lift your heels off the floor to activate your legs as well. And then we fold forward as deeply as we can. Also relax your neck after you have extended forward. And then we just try to hold it here easily. You don't have to go crazy. If the body offers it to you, you can, of course, push a little bit forward. But listen to the body. That's always the main priority. You have to get to know your body, to learn what it is capable of handling in terms of intensity also. And then table position, extension pose. First kind of hip extension, active hip extension. If the neck extension here is too intense, chin to chest or double chin, that is a bit better for the neck in my experience. And then back to forward fold. We switch a little bit. We do 3 rounds. Paschimottanasana, table, Paschimottanasana, table. Call it also intensity management. Using the right intensity for the right moment in time. And once you get addicted to it, your body gets addicted to it, you will become stronger and stronger anyway. Table position again. You can try to do it with straight legs now if you like. Otherwise, just continue with the bent leg variation. Bent legged variation. Bended legged variation. And last round, Paschimottanasana, forward fold one more time. Last round, table position. Let's release. And now I think we go more into classic backbending. Yeah, I know, those are exhaustive. And just straightening it out with one fold, but just for a moment, not a very long hold here. And then we release. And we walk over, we cross the legs, we walk over into a tabletop position. And we continue with some full range of motion cat-cow movements. Extending, flexing, follow back, round back. We will do a couple of variations of this particular movement, or similar movements at least. We hold the cow position. We continue with the down dog, playing with the heels a little bit, bending one leg and then the other one. We hold the down dog. And we roll forward and backwards. So we try to do some spinal waves here. Down dog spinal waves. Try to develop a feeling for it. It's as if you tried to roll forward, making yourself round into a straight arm plank, and then you pull back out of the tailbone. With a couple of reps and with practice, of course, you will get a good feeling for it. Okay, straight arm plank. We hold it here for a moment. Engaging the core, making ourselves round, active shoulders, pushing the world away. Then we lay down. Sphinx pose. Forearms to the front. In terms of the activation, I like to pull the position a little bit, as if I pulled the chest in between the arms through, and this creates a very nice sensation in the mid-back. Then I try to straighten the elbows, but I try to keep the belly on the floor. So it's more like a straightening out of the shoulders, like a shoulder isolation, if that makes sense. Then lifting the spine up and away. No, belly tries to stay connected. Okay, then relax. Cobra pose, hands besides the chest. Again, pulling myself into the position. If you have a hard time keeping the hip on the floor, I recommend to keep the elbows bent. It's even harder than with straight elbows because you cannot, the lock in the elbows helps you. So I recommend the band variation in that case. And then we relax into a child's pose from here. Next exercise will be that we switch a bit between child and cobra. So we try to roll forward and we extend into the cobra or the up dog, and then we roll back into the child's pose. So again, a variation of the spinal wave. Rolling forward and coming back. One more, I think. And then after this one, let's make it our last one. And then we find back into a child's pose. We relax for a moment, mobilizing our energy in case there is any tension or stress. It's really okay to let it go. Also through the mouth. You don't have to be dogmatic with nose breathing, although it's of course the better. I also try to stay connected to the to nose breathing basically, but sometimes it's good to get rid of the tension. Down dog, and then we make the spinal wave a little bit more challenging by rolling forward into an up dog and then back into a down dog. In case that's not accessible for you yet, feel free to revisit one of the other spinal waves, just pick one that you enjoyed, and otherwise, let's go here, up to down dog, and again forward to up dog. 3, I think we went for 6 here as well. Let's see. 4. You can do it in your own tempo again. It's just numbers are always just for direction. 4. 5. And one more, I think. And then we hold the down dog after this one for a moment. Yes. Down dog for a moment. Afterwards, we relax again into the child. So try to make the down dog active. Shift the weight into your legs, into your lower body. Try to lengthen your shoulders, your arms, and then we relax into a child's pose. Good job, good job. Last 9 minutes, by the way. We're almost there, almost there. After the child, we continue with a puppy pose, a couple of puppy pose variations to engage the shoulders a bit more, to engage the upper back, to isolate the upper back and the shoulders a bit. Let's try that kneeling position. We allow the arms to slide forward. At first, what I like to do, elbows straight, external shoulder rotation, trying to roll the shoulders away from my own ears, and then I try to touch the floor with the forehead. That's already a nice sensation, calm and easy still, very accessible, I would say. And from here, I try to go deeper by rolling up from forehead to nose to chin, and eventually thinking about touching the floor with the chest even. No worries if you cannot touch. As you can see, I'm elevated as well. Body proportions do matter in certain positions. Just try to find the upper back. I also try to engage the muscles besides the spine in the upper back. Let's lean to the right, shifting the weight to the right arm, to the right side, as if I try to touch the floor only with the right side of the chest or the right armpit even. And then the same thing to the left, shifting the weight into the left side. Nice. Back into the center, and we go for the hero's pose. We work a little bit on the passive hip extension, lengthening the quads a little bit. Knees together, feet apart, and then we try to have a seat in between the feet. Now, this is a delicate pose. It can be very, very helpful, or it is very, very helpful. It is very productive. If you have problems with your knees, please be mindful and careful. You don't have to force it, okay? You can also try to sit on your block. You can sit on your heels. You can support with the hands on the floor to make it less intense. Take it easy, take it easy. Now we try to do the same position again. but with only one leg being bent, knees together again, and heel outside. Okay, so I'm not sitting on the foot is besides my buttocks. Okay, then we try to lean forward. If you have an easier time than me here, keeping both sides of the buttocks on the floor, please feel free to reach forward with both hands. I support with one hand on the floor to push myself a bit to the right in this case, so that the weight is equally distributed on both sides of the buttocks. Now here you can see it better. Bending the knee, the leg, knees together, foot besides my buttocks. Rolling the left quad outside and trying to push the buttocks down. Supporting here, leaning forward still. Again, if it's easy for you to equally distribute the weight, feel free to reach forward with both arms to focus a little bit more on the depth of the forward fold. Now let's release again. Let's shake it off and let's go into a forward fold counter position. You're already in the part of the cool down. Back bending is over. Preparation is over. Back bending is over. Now a couple of cool down positions. And my go-to after back bending are usually folds and twists. Again, similar as we did in the beginning. It's just nice, a little bit in the beginning, a little bit at the end, and then abs, hip flexors, lower abs, side abs. So we start with Savasana, band-legged variation, boat pose. From here we try to straighten the legs. Navasana with straight legs. The idea is to compress. You try to bring your upper body and your lower body together as much as you can. I have a way to go as well, as you can see. Then lower back to the floor. We go one level further down. Banana pose, banana hold. And then we relax. Good job. Last two positions of the day. We go with one knee towards the opposite armpit. So we're searching for an easy twist. Arms in a line with the shoulders, and then we rotate the lower body. Try to keep your shoulder girdle grounded, okay? Both sides of the shoulders, try to stay connected with the floor. And then we try to turn the lower body to create this twisting sensation. If it's okay for your neck, you can look to the opposite direction to create the twist throughout the spine. And then other side. Repeat on the other side, same thing. Last position of the day before Savasana. Savasana will be the last position. A little bit of relaxation at the end. Integrating what we have achieved in the session. Processing, integrating, relaxing, cooling down, calming ourselves down, regulating ourselves down. Let's go for it. Shavasana. Adjust yourself one more time. Find a comfortable position. Then try to become still as good as you can. No pressure, of course. And then we try to relax just for a tiny moment. It's just 2 minutes, not even 1 minute more. Try with every exhale to sink deeper into the mat, to release the tension, to release the stress that might still reside within. your body or your mind. Try to let it go. Extend the exhale. Relax the inhale. Then already let's get back into the body, playing with the fingers, with the toes, rotating arms and legs, stretching one more time the whole body, creating traction. And when you're ready, one leg goes bent, we roll to one side. Of course, you can do a longer Savasana as well if you have the time and mood for it. Feel free to just relax. From my side, that's it for today. Thank you for joining. If you enjoyed the session, please like and subscribe. Private classes are available. Just send me a DM on Instagram or write me an email. And check out my online school in case you're interested for more in-depth classes. Thanks again. Have a nice rest of your day and see you next time.